Hello there. Well, because of lockdown, I've not been able to get the kayak out as much as I would have liked to have done. But that has meant that I've had a little bit more time to do some lure fishing from the bank. And to help me, I bought myself a new lure bag. And here it is. It's the Rapala Countdown Sling. And it's designed for anglers who are on the go and mobile, which is exactly the type of fishing that I do. I tend to be walking up paths and over rock to get to marks. So something that I can carry a rod on the back is exactly what I was looking for. So we'll start with what you can actually keep inside. Well, first thing to mention is the zip. It's kind of a 3D zip because it starts off on the back of the rucksack and then works its way around before going down, which means that getting inside is very easy because there's a big wide opening. Now that does mean that you've got to be a little less cavalier with leaving a rucksack half open because there is so much more space for things to fall out. But it is very easy to get at things when you've got the lure bag on your back. In terms of capacity, a couple of large lure boxes go in comfortably, and there's more than enough room for other things in there as well. And a nice touch is on the flap of the pockets you've got these reinforced zip pockets which are ideal for keeping soft plastics in. On the top there's another really decent sized pocket, again with one of the reinforced pockets in the flap. Inside, at the moment I've got a pair of gloves, but you can fit a can of Coke, maybe lunch, things like that can go in there, and again easily accessed when you've got the rucksack on your back. I can actually fit my Msr Wind Boiler in, so if I want to take that along and brew up a cup of tea whilst I'm out, that does fit in, although it's a bit snug and it does put a little bit of pressure on it, the zip, but as you can see, there's a good amount of space. And one of the features that I don't quite understand about this rucksack is the sleeve pocket at the back, which is padded and designed to fit a 13-inch laptop. Quite why you'd take a laptop fishing with you, I don't really know, but if you are the sort of person and do have a 13-inch laptop, no bigger, then there's the space for you. What I've used it for is taking fish home when I've been fishing from the shore. Other than that, I can't really see a use for it because you're not going to take a power cable with you, you're not going to take any of your other work things with you, so why would you just take the laptop? But there we go. And on the other side, you've got an expanding pocket that's reinforced on the outside for a bit of durability, and that's the same for the bottom as well, so if you're leaving it on rocks and things, you're going to get a little bit more wear out of it. On the actual sling, you've got another pocket that is designed to take a mobile phone, but I've got fluorocarbon and lure clips in there at the moment. And on the side, you've got a pouch for your pliers. Now both of those are really accessible when you've got the rucksack on, so at no point do you actually really need to take the bag off at all. But the main reason why I got this was to have some way of attaching rods to it when I'm walking along. As I said, I do quite a lot of lure fishing when I'm mobile, walking around and wading through water. So I want to be able to have both hands free to hold on to something or give myself a little bit of balance without worrying about a rod that's in my hand. And this does the job really very well indeed. You've got a couple of loops at the bottom, one on either side, and that's where the butt goes through, and then the reel sits on top there. And then you've got these Velcro straps that are adjustable, you can move them up and down to hold the rod against the bag. And it works very, very well indeed. I just wish that they'd made these loops a fraction bigger and put them at a 90-degree twist, because whilst you can get a rod off there, it's a little bit of a faff, especially when you've got the lure bag on. You can put a rod on both sides, but what I've found is that a rod on the far side is actually very difficult to get at if you're fishing with it. So you have to really take off the rucksack in order to get access to it, especially if you've got a rod on the other side. The other thing that I have done is try to carry a pike landing net on it. It works, but it is pretty cumbersome. Something like a perch net or a scoop net, absolutely fine. But anything bigger and it is a bit unwieldy, and you do find that the weight is pulling you back a bit. But the positioning is really good. I've never found that the butt of the rod is banging against my thigh, which obviously would be really annoying. And in terms of the height for water, when I've been wading, at no point have I got the reel in the water because it sits above these little loops. So unless you're in anything that's sort of above waist height, then the reel is going to stay out of the water. Occasionally when I've been walking along, I have found that the rods have twisted higher up, but that's just a matter of tightening up these really tight. Having said that, if these are done up really tight, they can be a bit fiddly to undo. I wish they put just a little bit of a tag end there where there isn't scratchy Velcro, just so you've got something easy to find and pull when you're trying to undo it. But I think these are minor issues, and actually with a bit of a sewing machine effort I might be able to correct those. It works, and it is a very, very nice way of carrying the rods. I don't find that it's particularly uncomfortable, and as I said, my legs haven't felt the butts banging against them. You do of course have the problem of height, and if you are carrying rods that are already set up, then I'd watch out for overhanging branches and limbs of trees, just because you don't want to scratch the tip of your rod on it. But other than that, it's a very clever system. I've really enjoyed using the lure bag, as I've had it for a couple of months now. Even fishing in water, I've been able to change lures, even change leaders and clips, without ever having to take the rucksack off. I've been really impressed with just how easy it is to fish with. Now, because it's a sling rucksack, you've always got one shoulder completely free. So if you are into your LRF fishing or BFS, anything where you need to make one-handed casts or drop a lure over the edge of a feature, you're able to do that completely uninhibited. Hopefully you found this interesting. With any luck, the next video that I'll do, I'll be back on the kayak. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.